what brings everyone here? Don't say content.
SEO?
Yeah, oh, a miracle! That's awesome. So I know you're in marketing. I'm assuming everyone's in marketing. Great. We've got Brian here, physiotherapy and massage. Right, corporate. I know, right? Yeah. I'll get his card. Yeah, right.
Yeah, come to you and your
And he does.
Yeah.
He comes to my house. I know.
Oh.
Yeah, right. He's amazing. Very, very good. So what do you guys all do? I'm going to know you two. Are you in businesses above?
So I'm
Just
a newbie for DWP.
Yep.
I'm in the immigration field. So
Nice. As a lawyer?
as an agent, but
Yep.
I do have two businesses. One is just provide immigration advice, the other one is to connecting foreign skilled workers, white collar
With businesses and doing all that.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
I've worked with a few, and yes, doing a website, there's a lot of pages, and trying to understand all the technical stuff. Look at you, like, whatever. Move on.
I don't think anyone is reading those.
No, it's more for this stuff. So we're going to be quiet room, or we're going to be heckle? Yeah, heckle. I love it. Heckle, slander, yeah. James, when do I start? Do I just
5 past, 10 past? I know we're expecting a couple more, but
yeah,
whenever
that's
you're ready.
fine. How's everyone going? Everyone good? Everyone's like just that. Okay, I'll let you. Yeah. I'm like, you got this, guys. Everyone's like, just wait.
We're excited to learn.
I know. I will. Yeah, it's going to be a lot. So I love a lot of practicality, and I love to give lots of knowledge. So stop me if you have any questions, if you want to ask anything. Yeah, you're not going to derail me. I love it. Hey. No, that's fine. How's the corporate packages going?
Yeah, it's going well. I haven't pushed it as hard as I'll learn.
Yeah, you learn tonight. Yeah, no, that's good. So do you guys do a lot of content? Everyone do content, learning content? What's everyone's sort of feel? Yes, I interact. This is real, right? Like, you're not watching a screen.
Ads, print ads, web pages,
Blogs, articles, yeah.
Everyone's our digital team, that, so going on to the bus there.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
Like,
that's
target.
good.
No, it's okay, I won't. That's good. Got Ryan's doing a lot of stuff on LinkedIn, which is good. Does anyone else do a lot of content? Mix it up. LinkedIn? Yeah? How do you find it?
I'm trying to understand what's the correct sort of, how often do you need to post without overwhelming and keeping the...
Do you want the answer?
Is authority a thing, or is authority something that has been sort of...
Dwindled. Cool, good. Let's do that. Okay, so frequency, I would say, forgive me guys, as many as you can, and the reason why is because the algorithm's against you, and so you get, you only get about 2% of spread without paid. Of course, they want money, right? They want money for paid, so you only get a small percentage of spread. So the idea behind it is the more frequent that you do, the better in general, because your followers, even though they're following you, don't see everything. And so the biggest mistake that people make is that they go, oh, I posted that once and that's done. Whereas a lot of the times I recommend you post repost some stuff after 6 months, because a lot of your followers haven't seen it, don't remember it, and you've got to spend a lot of time producing that content. So definitely more often, because you see your profile a lot, but others don't. So you like, oh God, I'm so sick of myself, right? So, but people will often go, oh, I love seeing your content. I'm like, I haven't driven you nuts, right? Like, no, I just saw you once this week. I'm like, okay, great. I posted like 6 times. So the idea behind it is more frequency. Trust, definitely, especially in the economy right now. People are more hesitant, more anxious. So the more evidence you provide, the better. Because what's happening is, for example, in your field, if you're talking about immigration and rules and sharing insights, especially original stuff, right? That's where you can really shine. Because the reality is everyone's now going to AI, and AI has a general knowledge of everything. So original stuff, absolutely, is key. Absolutely. So original stuff, and that's why I always focus on clients' opinions, things they've seen every day. You're sitting, sorry, I'm already starting. You're sitting on a gold mine because there's probably people in your team that have been asked the same FAQ 500 times, and all you need to do is say, how did you answer that piece of content? So all of those things that aren't generic, like what is immigration law, that stuff. But things about what you see, case studies, scenarios, law changes, all of that makes you an authority. Your skin's crawling. Why?
It's kind of B2C, right?
Oh, yeah.
You kind of want to convince businesses
Yes.
that sponsorship is not difficult,
Mhm.
and why it's more sponsoring something.
Yeah.
So you go about statistics in terms of skill shortage more
Mhm.
than So I get you.
Yeah,
But
but don't
answering
be afraid.
questions about immigration, I think everyone
Mhm.
else is doing that. What's the unique one?
They're unique, yeah, and you don't have to, please don't overthink things. People often go, oh, I don't look perfect, right? Is people just want to hear answers and they want to see the real you. And so if you say, I got asked an interesting immigration question today, right? Or sometimes people have a misconception that immigration and immigration rules in Australia are hard. Let me break it down for you. Do you know how many people would look at that?
The problem is that what it really means is scary.
You're scary.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. That's even better. because if like your unique personality is what they have to work with, right? So if you go, hi, I'm happy, and then they ring you and you're like, what? Right? That's going to be damaging. So the best thing to do is be the real you, because the people that will gravitate to you are the ones you want. So don't be worried about that. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Anyone else throw a curveball? Yeah, like this is stuff.
Are there particular types of content that gets high engagement conversion, like video, as opposed to just copy?
It depends on your industry and the circumstance you're in. So what situation is it?
So we're in a B2B financial services industry. Accountants, advisors are key audiences. And obviously, you know, it's not very sexy, our products, right? It's financial.
They find it sexy.
Yeah. But the thing is, how do we make it more engaging? And so I immediately think snackable content.
Yep.
Like, you know, little video grabs or anything that I can create a bit of movement into the copy. So still getting the message through, but doing it in a way that's a bit more engaging.
Agreed.
Hopefully stop scrolling.
Yeah. I would say intent over type. I'm always a big omni-channel person, so I try everything. And the reason why is because certain circumstances require different things. Like people often say, oh, video is the go-to, but actually it's not always, because copy you can skim, whereas video you have to find and you have to, so it's not always the go-to, it's a misconception. So what I find is focus on intent and originality over type. The type will just follow. So for instance, if it's accounting, don't look at what you're producing, look at why. So what I would do is go, right, so for example, you might say, what are accountants looking for? It might be an EOFY checklist right now coming up, right? So what I would do is, instead of saying, hi guys, it's the EOF checklist again, say, I'm making this up completely, there are new rules out, right? And accountants and financial advisors must be aware of some of these important tactics. How many of these 6 do you know, right? Write that, video it, podcast it, right? Whatever you want to do, because what stops the scroll is not usually the format; it's the topic. And this is the biggest challenge that businesses have. I'm a marketing consultant. I'm Chris. Sorry, I was going to do a formal, but hi, I'm Chris. And what I find is, and I tell my team this all the time, is people don't stop, unless you're on TikTok for a meme, people don't stop for anything other than something that they find interesting. So like I did Brian's content recently, right? And he was like, I'm a massage therapist, that's what I do. And I said, what are people actually looking for? And what we really delve down to is people are looking for a way, B2B, to talk to impress their employees. So I was like, let's make content around the fact that it's like, be a good boss, right? And get Ryan in and make everyone feel good. And let's put programs in to do health and wellness and healthcare and mental health and all of that sort of stuff. Because massage is okay, there's plenty of stuff on massage and physiotherapy, but there's not a lot on the fact that it's like businesses now are under so much stress, people are under so much stress, you look like a good employee when you are looking after employer, when you're looking after your employees, all of that. So when it comes to strict format, skimmable, snackable content, which I'll talk about today, is yes, but intent and topic is best.
But it also depends on the platform, right? Like,
Correct.
We're not on TikTok, obviously. We are on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Not Instagram, but Instagram, for example, is all about the reels.
Yeah,
Get
yeah.
in front of people, do a reel instead of a post.
Mhm.
So is there stuff on LinkedIn that is good, like a type of content or format that's going to get us
See more. I would do a what do you call it? Like
Carousel?
not a carousel. It's more like do a collection. That's what I was trying to say. What are those words? So the collection. So what I would say is do a blog on a Monday, do a video on a Wednesday, do a funny post on a Friday. I kind of mix it up and just keep true to your business, your brand, your customer. And then if you're mixing things up, because I wish there was one answer, but this is not, because sometimes I do videos and they rank off the charts, and then sometimes I do a video and it's like 100 people saw it, and then you do a blog and you think no one reads it, but then the numbers go like to 3,000, 4,000, 7,000 impressions. You're like, and it's the content topic. The way I always say it is hook. So hook first, then something I always say like appeal to something that they don't know. Then create something relatable that they do, and I'll give you an example, and then the how. So what I typically do is I'll say something like, let's use accountants again. So it might be something like, AOFY is one of the most stressful times for an accountant for one reason, hook, right? And then you say, next line, you've been an accountant for 5, 10 years, you know what to expect, right? So did everyone else, until, do you see what I mean? And then you say, until, blah, 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 blah. I've quoted it if you want. Until, and then you go, then what I do is the scannable content, like until this bullet, right? Then check in with a question, right? Say something like, does this sound familiar? Did you know this? Questions are a huge way to re-engage because they bring the audience back in. And then you say, if you want to have a chat, have a look at our website for the blog, or a video, or a podcast on this. Or reach out to our advisors and we'd happily help you. Does that give some information there? Yeah. I'm happy to chat later, but I hope that was useful. All right, I might start. Okay. Do I just close it or? Yeah. Do I just abandon it? Just do FAQs? Like okay. So thank you everyone for coming. My name is Chris. I'm a marketing consultant and I specialise in content, strategy, execution, and everything in between. And I love to talk, right? And I love to speak and give lots of insights. So yeah. So let's begin. Please don't stop if you. Please stop me if you have any questions. I have no problem. Completely. All right. So today we're solving a really big challenge because we've got multiple audiences now. It has changed. We aren't just dealing with humans. We're dealing with search engines who are looking for our content as well as humans, and we're dealing now with AI, our favourite topic, right? And everyone's heard it. So, so this one is, the reason why I'm presenting this today is because these three systems and people all look in different ways. And we as marketers and business owners and brand custodians have to make sure that we are optimizing for all three. And it is possible, and I'll show you how. But I first want to break down the situation so we all know what we're dealing with, and then from there we can talk about the tactics. Sorry, this side is very, very bright. Everyone okay? Okay, my brand new team love orange. Okay, so why content matters. Absolutely, content has not died. It is very, very vivid, especially because, is anyone perplexity themselves or their business recently? Has anyone used AI Perplexity to have a look at themselves? What I would do is go to Perplexity and just say, what do you know about my brand? Okay, because where is it looking? At your content. And you can actually say to it, where are the gaps that you can't find, right? And it will tell you, this is what I can't find. And I've done this on my business. It said, there were some credibility signals that were missing. There was something I didn't know how much Chris charges and things like that. Now, you don't have to fill those gaps, but those kind of things is where content plays, right? It's not just educating your human audiences, it's educating all of the tools that people are using to make decisions, which is AI and search engines as well. Everyone uses it. Everyone's like, how many people use AI now to make decisions? Yep. And what kind of things are we saying? What's the best yogurt? What are people asking? I'm just curious. Like, is it for business decisions or small decisions? I talk to it all day, right? So let's get the shame out of it, right? I'm asking it for everything.
Yeah, I'll talk to it. I drive a lot. I do a lot of mobile sessions, so I've got it talking to me in the car, it's like my friend. And yeah, it's any business things. So like, what are your thoughts on if I was to do this, or like, what's the update in the research around this? And it kind of helps to guide, and then I will follow it up myself to make sure it is correct, obviously. But it kind of guides in a good direction.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyone else, Jay?
Yeah, literally everything.
Yeah, okay. Run a lunch and learn. And that's great. Sorry.
Yeah, and even just any technical jargon, I was reviewing an agreement, a contract recently, and I've seen it many times before, but there's still some bits where I was like, I have no idea what this means.
Yeah.
And I think traditionally we would have gone to a solicitor or whatever, but
Search engines.
but now I can just go to AI, but break it down for me in simple language that I can understand. And I thought, oh, I didn't need a solicitor for this because, you know, I understand.
Can you help it? Yeah, you can do this.
Risk and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so now, before I just sign on anything, I do a bit of a check to say, what's it telling me? And what I like is that it tells me things that I haven't thought, because you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly. Yes.
You know,
And that's what it's good at.
To go back and challenge these things. Yeah.
And that's perfect. And this is, you are not alone, everyone's not alone here. Australia has one of the highest adoption rates of AI in the world, right? You wouldn't think that. You'd think, but we actually, as humans, as people, we love it, right? Like, you think that America? No, it's Australia. Our businesses are slow, but our human adoption as customers is really fast, right? We jumped straight on that and we ran with it. And so, this is what's happening. Now, your content that you provide is where it finds stuff. So AI has two kinds of memories. AI has general memory, which is where it learns everything, right? It has the basics. What is blue? Oh, that's a cool question to ask. General stuff, right? Then it has the research stuff. And the research stuff is where it goes and hunts for you. And that's where your content plays. Because it can't, it does make up stuff, but it likes to find stuff on your website. So if someone says, who's a marketing consultant in Sydney? I spend a lot of time getting up there and getting ranked. It will find my website and go, Chris is this, Chris is that. No, I didn't control it other than what I provide to it. Okay? So if you have gaps, then AI goes either dismiss, right, and moves on from your business, or it gives you, it makes something up, or it says something small. It might say, the TWP or an office block in Sydney, it'll actually say, I can't find anything else, here's some alternatives. So your content is what not just builds awareness and educates buyers, establishes authority and shortens sales cycles, but it also educates the platforms that people are using. And so it doesn't even have to be specified. It doesn't even have to say, can you look up Christopher Melotti Media, right? It doesn't even have to, it can just say, well, who's a good consultant? And then it hunts. And the best original content that it finds that's easily accessible is what it does. Now, AI is interesting because, and I'll show you in a second, AI works like a human, but with infinite attention span, right, which is very opposite to us, and it's got all the time in the world, right? So if you think about it, think about how we consume content. We read and we go, to us, but rewind 10, 20 years, right? We used to read stuff and look through stuff. Now AI does all of that, and we skip. And so it's sitting on the world's library, okay? So it has a lot, it reads all this stuff. So when you think, oh God, I'm writing this blog, it's 1,000, 2,000 words, no one's ever gonna read it. People do when AI feeds it to them and says, here's some information. Or people actually, the stats are still high on people reading, but intent is important. So I'm gonna take you through what that means. So, as I mentioned, right, there's a new audience member in the room, we're sick of them, right? We know AI, that's all we're here today. I'm sorry I lured you in with AI, but it's what people want to know about. And AI, it doesn't skim or get bored, it reads everything. It loves everything. It loves all your pieces. It doesn't even bail out. It might judge you. It might say that your content isn't good, but it reads every word, right? It reads like a human. It doesn't read like a human in terms of how we do today, what I mean. It doesn't get emotional, right? So it doesn't have an emotional response. And it doesn't care about your brand story like a human does. It absorbs the maths of it all. So what it's doing is it's saying, is this the right return? And can I build an argument on top of what has been provided? And so, but the thing is that it absolutely influences what people see. Because if they're asking about your business directly, it will return stuff. If you're asking about your industry, it will find stuff. And so what you provide, has anyone had their business sourced before? You know when it comes up with an AI answer, and then it says, I got it from here? No one has? Yeah, okay, it's hard to do, but it is possible. And so when you either get sourced, or it quotes you directly. So that's the aim, is that it influences what people are getting shown. So this is what we're dealing with today, is humans, search engines and AI systems, all are unique, but all are information hungry, and they want answers, right, to make decisions, especially the humans. So this is what I'm going to take you through today, is that content is no longer created for one consumer, it's for all. And this is where, how do we do this, right? One size fits all is really hard, right? But you can, and I'm going to show you how to. But the best thing to do is to understand what to do to get all three ticked. So, if you do one, then you sacrifice the others if you don't do it right. Because if you optimize only for humans, you might struggle to rank, right? If you optimize only for SEO, you sound generic. If you ignore AI, you don't get referenced. So this is a big conundrum that marketers need to solve, which I'm going to solve for you. All right, so let's talk about humans. First thing is, we are the ones who make decisions. We vote with our wallet and our attention. So as a result, this is the person we need to get to, right? The other two are tools, but they are gateways. But this is the person we need to, you guys, are the people we need to contact. So, we buy, we trust, we engage, but our attention spans are shorter. What is it now? What do you think? Less than a goldfish? Yeah, it's ridiculous, right? I was teaching marketing classes about 10 years ago, and I was like, we have goldfish attentions, and it's only got worse. I don't even know what to say anymore. What are we, tadpole? I don't know, anyway. So attention spans are shorter, our tolerance is lower. Would everyone agree? Yeah, right? Everyone's like, next, right? Who was talking about Tinder? Right? Terrible. But our tolerances and our options are many. And so therefore we have scrutiny. And our expectations are truly, truly high. Okay? And I spend my entire days editing my copywriter's work. Because I'm like, faster, get to the point, put a good call out here. What are we trying to say? It's going around in circles, right? People don't know what they're looking at, but they know that what they don't like. And so if you're not getting to the point, that's what the problem is. And so this is how humans consume content, right? We skim and scan and judge in seconds. Everyone judge me? Yeah, 100%, right? Everyone's got a conception right now, don't tell me. So that's what we do, but we will stop on content that we want. And that's the difference, right? Because if you look at it and you're going, I don't know, I need to waterproof my basement, whatever, right? And you go, there it is, right? And then you read that, okay? As humans, we find the content that we want, and then we'll invest the time, right? And so that's why it's still important to create those libraries of content, because we want to see it, and we want originality, right? We don't want to find that generic thing, we want something specific. So this is what they're looking for. Scanning headlines, subheadings, and then the body. But if it feels heavy, people exit. Does everyone know like that as well? It's not just what you write, it's how you put things together. Like formatting is so critical. Like half the work of your copy and your captions and everything is spacing, titles, would you agree? Like those, yeah, like right? So if your website is too mashed together, people go, right? You could write poetry and people would like leave, right? So you have to have spacing. I always say it's like an upside down triangle. So you have the big stuff at the top and then it funnels people down into something a little bit more manageable, right? Nice photos, nice images, bullet points, signals. That's what people are looking for to keep consuming your content. Because if it feels heavy, it exits. We exit, right? So, this is what I was talking about at the start, which is intent, right? This is what people are looking for and spending their time on, statistically, right? Is relevance. We only care about something that we are looking for, right? Would everyone agree? We are focused. It's like, they say that once you want to buy a car, you see that car everywhere, right? That's psychology. That's actually true. So relevance is, what am I looking for that's relevant right now, and how do I find it? Then you'll be hungry for it, right? Next one is clarity. Does everyone agree? Clarity. If it's convoluted, too complicated, off we go, right? We don't stay. It needs to be clear. Confidence in the message, and in the way we respond. So, does this seem legitimate? Does this website make me feel comfortable? Does this person's LinkedIn profile sound credible? Because that's the decision we make. Authority is, we are humans. We are always looking to follow people. It just is, right? So, if you want to stand out with your personal brand, having authority and showing that authority in things like this is really important. And the last bit is authenticity, like you mentioned this morning. What happens if I'm scary? Perfect, right? Because if you're fake, people don't like it. And it's just true, because if you think about it this way, if you go, gosh, I really like following Chris, I really like his content, and then you meet me and I'm like, right? You'd be like, oh, I don't want him emceeing my event, or I don't want him presenting, right? Whereas you get what you get, right, with me. And what I'm saying is, you don't have to show everything about your life, no, right? But what I'm saying is, don't set the expectation up and then clickbait us. It's the same, right? If you say, I'm this kind of lawyer, and then they go, fantastic, I've been following you for 6 months, you are an easy choice, I'm going to pick you. And then they meet you and you go, I really don't do this part of law. How bad is that experience, right? That is clickbait. So be careful with that kind of stuff. Because this is what a human is always asking, and this is how I scrutinize all of my clients' work and my own work, is this. Humans are constantly asking, you're asking it right now, aren't you? Is this worth my time? I just watch the reactions, right? But that's the thing. Is this worth my time? Our time is precious. That's what humans are looking for. So look at all of your website. Look at your materials, your brochures, everything you're sharing on socials. Is it worth their time? That's the difference. That's how I did your brochure, everything, right? I look at it and I go, is this worth someone's time? Would they want to actually read this, or is this a waste? The difference is critical today for marketing. So, this is the stuff we need to do for humans. Sorry about the color. Right? Write for intent, like I said at the start. Write for intent, not volume. Has anyone heard of answerthepublic.com? Yep, great website. Look up answerthepublic.com. What it does is it finds the latest AI and search engine searches for any topic. And then what you can do is you create content around that. It's what people are actually searching for. Great website. Or you can just ask AI, I'm sure. But Answer the Public has actual stats. So what you do is you put your brand, your industry, something there, and it will come up with all the questions that people are actually asking and answer them with your voice, your originality, your brand, right? Because that's what they're looking for, is what's relevant right now. Topics and things are great, they just get huge interest. Use a clear narrative flow. Again, what I mean is that upside down triangle. Big heading, go through it, makes sense, okay? Another, like for the copywriters in the room, one of the biggest problems that people have is that connection. Like they don't tell the story. So they'll say, this is what happens when you have to do this. And then they jump a few steps and the person's reading like, how did we get here? I'm off. okay? So take them through a journey and map out what that journey is that's going to educate them, right? The basic format I usually say is hook, right? And then I always say the what. Explain the what, right? And give them something relatable, then unrelatable, right? So you say something like, what's a topic? Pick a topic for me. What's a topic? Right. Sport. What? Oh god, it's the worst for me. What type of sport?
I don't know, just came in.
Yeah, okay. But this is going to be a risk. All right, cricket. Cricket, right? It might be something like. So you start with the what, right? Cricket is enhancing your attention span, right? Is the hook, right? Cricket isn't known for being a very fast sport. It's actually known for being 3 days. Right? It's actually known, is that right? Right? It's actually known for being 3 days. See how it's like clincher reality? But did you know that audience is showing a record experience with holding their attention on the game, right? That's the hook, right? And then we go into the what, right? The what. Cricket has always been it's a national staple in Australia. It's all played all around the world. There's national blah blah blah. Create familiarity. That brings people in after the hook, right? Then give them the why. Why are they reading this? Attention spans are known as being bad. Why is cricket the antidote? Right? See how that would keep them going, right? Then what you do, examples, right? Then the how. People wait for the how, but if you come with the how too early, they don't like that. The how is here's 5 tricks to try, here's what you should be doing, right? People love that because they learn from it, but if you go in cold with that, they don't like it. So if you say, here's how cricket can change your attention span, imagine reading that first, you're like, no, what do I need that? You've got to create a story first. This is with video, anything, right? So then the how, then the wrap it up, call to action, right? And the call to action shouldn't be, speak to someone who doesn't know anything about cricket, right? It should be something like, does that sound like something you want? Does that sound like it's interesting? I'd love to discuss my cricket workshops, right? But you see what I mean? That's the flow. And the biggest challenge that the content has is when it goes off in random tangents and it goes, you know what, I always say, don't Kanye West your content, right? Because you know, if anyone's seen a Kanye West interview, he's like, well, I can see this, and he goes off in tangents and you're like, I have no idea what he said. That's what people sometimes write video like, and it's easy to do. Why? Why is that easy to do? Because you live and breathe your business and your brand. The audience does not. Okay? So if you're there going, of course this makes sense, right? But they don't. They lose, and what do? Leave. So that's what we're trying to do with humans, is strong subheadings, clear points of view, and eliminate filler, right? Sometimes I will say to my team, just get it out of your head, then edit. Just get it out of your head, edit, go away, come back and edit again. That's how I kind of get like all content. Because you go, don't need that, oh my god, I missed this part. Really important. Everyone okay with humans? Okay. Next, search engines. Okay, search engines don't care about how clever you sound. They're not emotional, they're mathematical. They scan, they assess. Okay? So they're looking for patterns, intent, and it's got better and better. Now they're going to eventually merge with AI, I'm sure, but at the moment, this is what they're trying to do, is Google has this hidden 220-point algorithm. I think, actually no, my SEO guy said it's 200 billion now or something. It has a checklist of things that it looks for, right? We don't know them all. But all we know is what Google tells us, which is the EAT principle, right? Which is, what's it called? It's forgotten the acronym now, but it's like engagement and entertainment authority, something else. But the summary of it is, make sure you're writing for your audience, make sure it's original, and make sure they get value, right? Because that's what it's searching and that's what it's returning for. So, it's all of this. So what search engines is looking for is all mathematical, right? But unfortunately, if you pursue this too much, I said before, you get boring. Because it's just keyword stuffing, right? And all that, which is the no-no, right? So what it's looking for is, does this piece of content match with what people are searching for, right? Is it clear? Does it have internal links to other pieces of the website or other credibility signals? Does it have a logical structure? Is it original? This is something that both AI and search engines do, is they find copies of your content, and if it's the same, down. Okay? So originality is really, really key, and that's why when you get AI to write pure stuff, it doesn't work. Because it looks and goes, I've seen this before, and remember, it can read everything. So, topic leadership and authority is what it's looking for. So, like immigration law, right? It's a great area. I know you're like, whatever, but it's true, right? Is that's a good piece of content that people are looking for and searching for, right? And if you're not there, your competitors are, right? So that's really important. So that's what search engines are looking for. It's still the most popular, can I just say? As much as we love AI in this room, I think it's still like 80 to 90% of searches in Australia are still Google, Bing, and those search engines. So it's still there, right? But how they scan is, does everyone know these tags? Just basics, right? Yeah, so these are like your heading 1 to heading 2, heading 3. It's looking for coding signals, right, behind your content, which just comes naturally with all of these platforms. But it's looking for keyword clusters, context, it's looking for a lot of different signals. But it's a strategic architecture, right? And this is where it can be hard to get the human side and the SEO side, because what happens in SEO is search engines go, what's the answer? Whereas humans want a story. So I'm going to tell you how to get over that in a second. But that's what search engines are looking for. So how do we do this is like answer the public. It's make sure that it's topical, it's got good information, originality in there, right? It's got good coding, natural keyword placement, right? Everyone has a keyword stuff, right? Like you don't say, I'm an immigration agent. Immigration agents in Australia do this. I'm an immigration agent that does this. Immigration service is this. Keyword stuffing, right? It detects these things very, very fast. Whereas if you use it more naturally, that's when you get better results on that. Okay? Hyperlink to other blogs and articles is really important. Does everyone do that? When you put things in, like here's another thing, you can read more, right? Hyperlinking. And this one's a big one, is staying true to the topic, right? Humans are more forgiving, AI is more forgiving, but search engines want one topic, right? They're gonna change, I think, in the future, but when you say, this is a recipe for Christmas, it better be a recipe for Christmas, okay? Because if you say, oh, by the way, there's this mandarin thing, SEO will go, there's probably a better one, okay? So really tune to the topic is really important. So I think we're all good with SEO. This is the newbie, right? Let's talk about AI, and then I'll wrap up. So, this, AI, unlike SEO, AI doesn't rank a page or a paragraph. It ranks meaning, and that's because it has the ability to do so, okay? So like in the past with search engines, it goes, scan, this looks like a good paragraph, let's return that. It doesn't do that. It reads your content, and it says, what is this? Is this the right reply? Now, remember, it has that knowledge base and then the non-knowledge base of other things that it's searching your website for, and it's making meaning of all of that. So it's not mathematically driven per se, it's like meaning driven, and it's trained to do this. That's where it's different. So this is what it's looking for, is defined concepts, using natural English, explaining things, using originality, right? It's looking for complete answers and snippets. FAQs, if there's one thing you take away today, FAQs, every page now. Right, does everyone know that? Every page needs to have FAQs now because it's looking for snippets, right? And original stuff, and include your brand name in that. Because if you say, what is physiotherapy massage, and you just go, physiotherapy massage is the use of it, right? Too generic, right? If you say, at Endeavour Physiology, right? In Endeavour Physiology, we define it as this. The reason why is AI goes, oh, I've got a question for physiotherapy in corporates, right? Ryan's website, let's have a look, right? And if you have a generic answer, it goes, oh, Ryan's answered generically. So it credits Ryan, but it won't say his brand. Whereas if you have your brand in the answer, it will say, according to Ryan from Endeavour Physiology, physiotherapy for corporates is. FAQs is awesome. So every page, I've done it to every page, right? And say, at Melotti Media, this is how we define, that's how you want to do it. Everyone okay with that? FAQs. Question? Yeah, I can see it.
It just seems like, I don't know, it would be a good user experience, like the human would like that.
Yeah.
You take my thunder. Yes, yeah, that's next. But yes, absolutely. FAQs are excellent for the human experience. Why? 24/7 access to answers. Yes. But AI loves it as well because it's snippets ready to go. So if someone says, I'm really pushing it, sorry, like immigration agency, if you say, why do Australian businesses, right, need to consider immigration for roles they can't fill here? Boom, your answer. According to, what was your name, sorry? Eva. Okay, according to Eva from business name, this is how it works. The misconception is that it's hard, but it's not. Access a whole bunch of, right? It gives them your website, your brand, easy, right? Then what happens is the person then goes, it sounds like she knows what she's doing, click, opens your website, you get the lead, right? So things like that, yeah.
Would it be a hack or sabotage to use AI to generate your FAQs? Because then it knows it's not original because it generated it. But it would be like the perfect answer.
Yeah.
Right?
So the way, so yes, the hack you do is use it to ask you the questions and voice chat the answers and get it to reformat your answer. That's the hack, right? So you say, give me 5 questions, and you say to it, don't say generic, homepage questions about this audience, this topic, and this information, right? It will say, hi, these are the 6 or 7 questions, right? Then you can say, this is how I would answer it. Click, answer. Just let it have it, right? Don't just say whatever you want, right? Then you say, all right, now that's not as eloquent as I'd like it. Can you reformat my answers to more professional, on tone and on brand? That's the one you can use. It's original, right? This time, there you go. It was worth coming. It's original. It's like, it's original, it's fresh, and it's the right answer on brand. And you didn't have to lift a finger, a bit of voice. Okay? So that's how you do it. If you just went, write me some questions and answers, copy paste, wrong. Because that's when it goes generic, I wrote that. Right? Whereas if it's original like that, that's how you do it. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay, so the FAQs really important because that's what it's looking for. But it's not just content, it's looking for, this is a multi-award winning agency, this is a this is a that. They've got, oh good, they've linked to 150 5-star Google reviews. All of that kind of stuff is really important. So, this is how AI reads your content, right? It doesn't skim emotionally, it extracts logic. It assesses sections, it extracts answers, it compares phrasing, and evaluates completeness. Is really important. So you know those long pages, and you go, no one reads those? It does. And that's why you need to keep doing them. Right? It's very important because AI will go, hey, on this website, this snippet is what you need to see. Right? And then sometimes now, if you click on a Google AI snippet, it will take you right to that section on the page. So it's really important to not go, no one reads things anymore, because it doesn't matter. We're using tools that do for us, that then give us the answers that we need to have to make that person make the right decision, which is us. Okay? So if your content is vague, it gets bypassed. And that's really the truth. If it's AI generated, you've got no chance. Because it's seen it all before, and 17 other people in your block have used the same AI with the same information to produce the same thing on their website. Right? How many times have you seen the M dash on a website? Right? It's everywhere, and they go, oh, why is it like my website ranking? Because your website looks like that person's website, which says the same thing as that person's website. But as I said to Em, you don't need to engineer it a lot. You just need to voice it and say, hey, this is what my business does. Get it to help you, but it's not coming straight from it, it's coming from your stuff. Does that make sense?
So why is voice better than written?
Or you can speak more freely. That's my, but you can write, don't get it wrong, as you can tell, I use my voice a lot. So I just go click, and I go, all right, I need this FAQ. This is how I would answer it vaguely, right? And then you go, can you make it more professional, cut it down, snip it, use SEO keywords, that. But if you're a writer, no problem. Go, this is the key points, it'll do that too, no issue.
Is it always doing that in real time from fresh material, or does it sort of cache some of this information to reuse?
Oh, is it like from your website?
Yeah.
Yeah, it caches a lot, but a lot of it, to be honest, it has, so as I said, it has that that normal memory, where it has that like taken for granted. Like, so it knows what the harbour bridge is and all of that and what Sydney is. It has that basic information. More specific is when it searches your website, and it kind of caches a bit, but it usually is live searching a little bit more. Yeah, I would say live search more, it caches a little bit. So that's why when you rank on AI, it changes and then it goes back. But if you have really good content, it'll keep you up there. Like I'm lucky to say, I'm up there quite a lot. But I write a lot of content, I produce a lot of videos and things like that. And so yeah, it is live scanning, and also there's different ways people ask it, and so that's why, you know, when you if everyone's written a blog and you go, God, how many blogs can you write on the same topic? Don't shy away from that, because people don't search in one way. Like I have a client that's a waterproofer, right? And they go, oh, I can't talk about waterproofing anymore. I'm like, well, that's a worry, because that's your business, right? So that's just that part, right? So I'm like, well, that's what you do, right? But that aside is, I was saying that people don't go, I'm looking for waterproofing. They say, I'm looking to waterproof my plant box, my basement, my roof, my whatever, right? So we have to put all that content together, because I want you to come up with the answer. And so you might go, I don't care anymore, but your audience does. And what we also do is write for them. We write as an architect, we write as a builder, we write as a DIYer, because the DIYer goes, hey, I'm just looking to whip this up, what do I do? Whereas the architect doesn't want that information. They go, oh, I choose the best product, right? So there's a different perspective. So don't think you're repeating yourself. People are searching in different ways. If you provide the best content, AI will put you forward, you get chosen, more sales. That's it. So that's how it works. So how to optimize is define your terms clearly, use your branding in the content so you get credit for it, right? Avoid vague claims. It's very, it hammers you on this. Has anyone seen that? If anyone says, assess my website, it'll say, where did you get that from? Right, which is rich coming from AI, right? But, right, like, because it makes things up all the time. But it will say, like, I had 150 5-star Google reviews, and it went, where did you get this from? And I was like, my Google page, and I was like, well, it's not linked. So I then linked it, and it was like, oh, I'm happy now. Okay, so little things like that is avoid vague claims, credibility is key. Explain ideas thoroughly, right? So give them enough information so it goes, this person is an authority on it. Use consistent language. Another thing it's very scrutinizing on is brand guidelines, right? You might think, oh, how would it know that? But it does. It says, this is an unusual word for you, right? So, and it's not, don't get all hung over it, but brand consistency is really key, because it does say that's a weird thing for you to have said. Writing clear, extractable sections. So this is one like blogs, right? It can be, don't go clutter. We don't read novels like we do marketing content and business content. So just have heading, space, small, and has anyone seen that you mix up your sentence length? It's really good. So 5 words, 6 words, question, another word to put a new paragraph, mix it up. Just because it scans it like that, it's snippets. Right, that's why FAQs work really well, because it's question, answer. That's why. I said that, and provide clear insights. Think extractable, think quotable. Right, think reference worthy. Okay, so I know we're almost done, I promise. This is where we bring it all together, right? Almost released. The problem is, as I said, when you try and do one in one direction too much, you end up sacrificing the others, right? But they can reinforce each other if you do it well. Because what happens is, if you structure it better, right, what can happen is, like if you structure it better for a human, SEO signal goes, oh, a lot of people are clicking on this, right? If you write well FAQs, like you alluded to, FAQs are great for humans and great for AI. So they can overlap, and that's what I'm going to give you these next steps, is how to do it. Because it's not about 3 strategies, it's about how to do it together. So this is where I'll get to the crux of it, the 5 steps. Start with this, right? This is the first step. Start with intent, like I said at the start, which is, who is this for? This is so key, right? This is the biggest thing, is people just go, oh, I'm just going to spam content, I don't really care, right? That's where you go wrong, is this. Who is this for? Audience. What problem are they solving? Even go deeper. You know the 5 whys? Everyone done the 5 whys before? Why, right? Get to the real crux of the problem, because often it's not to waterproof, I keep bringing this up, right? It's not to waterproof, it's I want to show off, like I want to look like I can do it, I want a sense of achievement, right? All those kind of things. How many people said they study Sydney Uni, not because of Sydney Uni, but because it looks like Hogwarts? Right? Like, I know, right? But what I'm saying is, your audience is human. They're the decision makers, right? So, with immigration, right, there's a lot of hang-ups, a lot of misconceptions, there'd be a lot of embarrassment, a lot of worry, political things. When you address those things in the right way, that's what people are looking for. So, what problem are they solving? What decisions do they need to make? What do you need to let them know? And how will they be looking? These are the kind of questions you should start by answering, because this sets the framework up, right? To make sure that the humans are the ones who are ultimately making decisions. This is what they're looking for, right? Clarity first. That's really important. Start there. The next thing is, once you've got the human in mind, this one, structure for machines. So what I mean by that is, now you understand what they're really looking for. Now, make it, don't think they're skimming, I need to make this 300 words. Write for the machines, because they are the ones looking for the whole content, right? So clear headings, lots of formatting, right? Logical hierarchy, so it's got big subheadings, small headings, bullet points, whatever. Write so that it's easy to navigate, even if it seems so long, because the machines are looking at it. Scannable sections, clear formatting, FAQs, right? Those blogs that are 2,000 words, those website pages that are 2,000 words, they're the ones that rank. They just are, right? I know, because you think that's where it's, because snippets, FAQ, all those kind of things. So write by extractable. Everyone okay?
So when you say clear formatting,
so don't make it look like an encyclopedia.
A long article, what do you mean by that?
So don't make it look like an encyclopedia where it's like, right? What people want to see and what the search engines want to see is, let's go back to cricket, it's risky, right? is the big heading, the hook, right? Font 18, bold, right? Subheading, something of a generated hook again. It might be something like, what you need to know, right? Whatever it is, right? Then small paragraph, that might be a call out, a big one, right? Then underneath that, another heading, right? That says the 5 things, the 20 things, right? Something, small paragraph, question, call out. So that what it does is it keeps people engaged visually, not just the humans, but the reason why is the search engines and AI are looking for answers. They're hunting for answers. So when you say, why is cricket a good sport for my children? It searches and goes, where's the snippet that I can go, that's why. So what I'm saying is, don't worry that it's really long, because, and even a video, don't worry.
Don't worry about the length per se, but just more about the ability for it to be.
The ability to be able to find the bits, yes. So for example, one mistake that one of my team members once made was, she made a call out an image, right? Now AI is getting better, but it can't scan your images as well. So she made it harder for it to find what that was. So I was like, replace that with not an image, put the actual text there so it can scan it. Things like that. Does that make sense? Yep, cool. Okay, next one is give it, so now you've got a structure, now give it meaning and authority. What I mean by that is, use your consistent terminology, link to other parts. Everyone do this, hyperlink to the other parts of your website. This is really important, or even credible websites like the government. Right, this is what it is if you say, according to, like if TWP does an article, right, it says according to according to the Australian government, businesses are looking for more places to hot desk, right? A link to a credible study from the government, huge bonus points, right? Or other blogs that you've done, other articles, research, anything, to a law journal, doesn't matter, right? Whatever it is, those kind of things is you're trying to give it signals. So definitions, explaining with originality, all these kind of things, using consistent terminology so it doesn't sound like it's been written by 17 different people. And that is what we're trying to do, is we're trying to answer and provide references that people are going to be fed, right? So think about that as the previous one was the skeleton, this is your body, your meat, right, gross. But this is your substance. Where things don't rank if it's too thin. Right? So the more detail you give, the better, especially if it's original. Okay? The next one is, and I know I've said internal linking before, but this is consistency and authority. So what I mean by that is, keep saying stats. Stats are really good. You don't have to have it for everything. The statistics work really, really well, and evidence works really, really well. Authority signals, and what I mean by that is, what have you won? Why you were in a position of authority? Okay, so you know how like sometimes when people put this writer is this person, you know, it was a multi-award winning, you know, been in the industry for this long, has done this, has won these, whatever, right? Those kind of things is what it's looking for is credibility. If you look at when you search for AI answers and it comes up, you will see it says this has come from, and you look at the references it gives, credible websites, credible references, always. That's what it's aiming to do, and it's only going to get more. So if your website is very flimsy, it's only new, right, it's going to struggle. Whereas if you've got a lot of credibility signals, it goes, these guys seem like they know what they're doing, and it brings it up. And the last thing is, review holistically, right? This is really important. Does it read well? Is still really important, right? If it's got awkward sentences and weird AI terminology and things, down, right? Whereas if it sounds like a good story, it's got a good appeal to it, it answers questions and it's good substance, that's what you need to be watching for, right? And don't be afraid to fix it. But like editing is it's going to be the most important skill going forward because everyone's just going AI based, right? Editing is really important. This is also important. Is it ranking? Yes or no? How can we fix it? Does everyone go back and fix their content? Does everyone go and reinvigorate it a little bit? Everyone's looking at each other like, one of the best things you can do is do a search on your website, see what's ranking, and redo those blogs that are ranking really high, right? Because Google and search engines and AI, they love fresh spins on old URLs. Does everyone know that? So yeah, so like old URLs with newer content, really well. As long as it doesn't go off topic, that's when you go down. But if you've got something, I've got a blog that always ranks well, and it's like how to build a marketing plan, right? And it's when I started, like 2017, right? And when I started my business, and I constantly, it's up there, and I add more parts, I refine it, right? And I stay updated, it just keeps going. So, and blogs that aren't, and articles and videos that aren't working, what can we do to fix them? Is really important. New photos, anything. Like more FAQs, right? At the end, add more FAQs. Miracle worker, right? But this is it doesn't have extractable information snippets. Is really important because that's what it's returning to people, okay? So the last thing is, the brands that win, they don't just chase algorithms or trends, okay? Because the humans and the decision makers are looking for topics and intent and relevance to their area. People are selfish, right? And they only want to know what they want to know. So be the answer that gets them to them. Otherwise, you're not going to be found competitive way. Okay? Next thing is, so they design content for interpretation. What I mean by that is, it's not just let's throw another piece. Oh my gosh, it's Monday. Quick, put up a Mother's Day post, right? It's something relevant and on topic and something that's going to provide some substance, right? And make sure that you are doing for all three, right? So you've got humans, your search engines, your AI are all aligned. It's really important to keep all into account, okay? And with that, I will throw over questions. I know that was a lot. Does everyone need like 2 minutes to just think? Alright, yeah. Right, yes,
So just a question on like the length of content. So that's for like a little website and things. What about for email?
Yeah, good question.
Do you want to put all of that in email?
Yeah, so email, the reason why it's shorter for emails is generally speaking it's off the AI radar, right? So AI doesn't search for it. Generally, emails are not SEO ranked and are not AI scanned. So you've got the human audience, nice and short, right? So that's a great question. Unless you're making a newsletter that's publicly available with AI scanning, then you have to kind of merge the techniques here. But if it's just an email going out, really quick. You need that quick, like summary, like in the subject line, and then but I still use the formatting techniques. The ones that get opened really quick are the ones that says, "Hi George," and then it has a bold line, something like, "Don't get caught out." This, and it doesn't always have to. Can I just say, it doesn't always have to be a freak out hook. right? It doesn't have to be what you're missing out on is costing you, right? I mean, that works, but it could be something like, here's a bit of an update that's important to you. Intent is so critical. If you think about how you behave today, you only open stuff that you care about, right? It's the truth. You only came here because you're like, let's hope he's got something of value, right? Same with everything you look at. So, how you correspond with the audience, that's why my step one is always who's the audience, what are they looking for. But with emails, no, you don't need to really, unless it's public, I hope humans, nice, short, sharp. I usually aim for like 200 words, 300 words. I know that's hard, but I literally go, subject line, name, bit of a bold statement, short paragraph intro, something of value. That's the most important part. People don't want to, they will unsubscribe from something that doesn't give them value, right? And then, does that interest you? Something like that. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, we write emails.
Yeah, no. It's just, the reason why is, even if you dump that first, and then you go, right, who's the audience? Is it internal, external, who's it going to?
We email usually to like advisors or accountants.
Okay, yeah, I mean, be honest, they spend a little bit more time reading, but it needs to be, what I will be doing is really pull it back to what do they care about. So what's an email that you sent recently? Like, what's something that was going to...
We send monthly like a email that says, hey, here's all the new things you can do on our platform.
Okay, they would probably... No, it's the reason why it's because about you, right? I know that's important, but what it would be doing is, how can we rephrase that to be something about what they're going to benefit from? So don't go in with, this is what you need to know about our platform. They're going to go, yeah, whatever, right? What's something that they just got given? Give me something, like, is it...
like a new reporting tool, so
Okay.
saving them time.
Perfect. What's the reporting tool do? Sorry.
More reports into like pre-presentations.
Okay, perfect, right? The topic is, how much time are you wasting putting reports together? Right? Not, this is a new feature on our platform. Ignored. Right? Change it to something that they care about, which is, so you say, here's something that's going to save you precious time that you know you don't have. Right? And you say, how much better, start the email with, how much better does this report look like compared to this? Or even if it's not visual, are you sick of Excel? Is Excel boring your clients and making you look unprofessional? Right? Congratulations, we've just introduced a tool. We're heroes. Put your content in, great reports out in one click. Does it sound appealing? Ask for some more information, or it's already part of your platform. Learn more. Do you see? Switch it to something that they want to read, not what you want them to see. So fine. That's why I asked them the 5 why. That's why, because it's like, I can say I'm a marketing consultant. You don't care, right? What you care about is you going to get your leads, it's going to be sales. So if you look at my website, that's what I say is, do you want to make your brand relevant? Not, I'm a marketing consultant. So does that help?
Yeah.
Yeah. Switch it around. Anyone else? Is everyone exhausted? I can see. I just ended. And everyone was like you know, when the roller coaster stops. I'm fatiguing everyone, so I know I can be like that. Everyone good?
Yeah.
Otherwise, my details are there. If you want, I'm happy to chat. So just jump on LinkedIn. I always post stuff. I practice what I preach. So you won't go onto my LinkedIn and then find nothing. Like, there's nothing worse than someone that's like, I'm a LinkedIn expert and nothing. So you'll see a lot of stuff. I think I recorded one on the way here, right? James was saying, oh, did you just post that already? Anyway, so yeah. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you. I've got the recording if anyone wants it. Oh, did you have a question?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, Chris has mentioned already, I have consulted him before, so a bit of a testimonial. He's really good. He's someone who makes you believe in your brand probably more than you. Like, he obsesses over your brand, as you can tell with his energy and his passion today. So he will obsess over your business and brand more than you possibly can yourself. So I highly recommend it.
Thanks, Ryan. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you. Welcome. I'm happy to chat if you want to wait after. Otherwise, thank you. Everyone's like, now what do we do? Just leave. Alright, thank you. That's fun. I'll come in and take it. Thank you. Oh, yes. I do. I love Super Brown. Oh, she's awesome. work with her. She's fantastic. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm glad. I've got the video, so thank you so much, guys. Thank you for asking questions and yeah. Yes. Yeah, coincidentally, like small world. So yeah, of course.
Especially I can't use this one.
Oh.
Like my first ever
No, you've got to.
Alright, ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 1.
Thank you. And how you gonna hook? What's the hook?
I'm gonna think about it on my own.
Yeah. You're like, got one, he's judging.
Chris asked me what's my hook.
Yeah, actually, that's a good hook. Nice. But thank you, nice to see you. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Always a pleasure. Nice to see you.
That was really good.
No, that's great.
I was wanting to ask you a question. So I've just started as a marketing associate doing content. So my brand, like whenever I think of personal, like personality and like originality.
For you? Yep.
Sorry, just in general.
Oh, yeah.
Like TikToks and short form and like, finding new Chris and saying, he's the founder Chris, like he's doing this, right?
Yep.
Like the reason I'm working is very professional and where we might be on LinkedIn, blog posts, like emails, like that kind of thing. How would you add that personal original touch to that?
It's hard.
Yeah.
So what I would do is for the business stuff, you got to keep it conservative.
Yeah.
Within brand guidelines. See, some brand like mine on LinkedIn, I'm nuts because for me, that's my brand.
Yes.
Like, as in, it's not my personal, my business brand is big and loud and
Obviously,
so
this is very
yeah. So what I would say is, let's say it was you and the business, right? You have brand guidelines for the business. For you can be yourself, but within, think about it as overlapping circles. So there's the part that doesn't overlap, that's you and your personality, and you can show that off. But the overlap is that you still say, oh, I'm working with the financial, is it, what industry is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right. So same thing, you would say, keep it in line. That's all. When you go out by yourself, that's when you can be yourself and do your own personal post. There's nothing wrong with that. So there's nothing wrong with you going, hey, I'm a marketing guy, up and coming next generation. Like, be yourself. Don't worry. People often think, oh, I can't make an ass of myself, or LinkedIn. No.
Yeah.
People that I actually think the crazy posts that I do are the ones that go like viral. So don't be afraid to show your personality, but within reason, within the business. That's where you go to keep the balance.
In terms of the actual, that makes sense. In terms of the actual brand, would you have any tips you think this way?
Yeah, it depends on, it really depends on, it's a business decision.
Yeah.
So if the business says, no, we are conservative, then you've got to go with it.
Yeah.
But if they say, I don't know, like you tell us, and they say to you, let's show some stuff, go for it. Like I would say, you rebuild the brand guidelines and justify it and say, hey, we're still financial services, we still do that, but we want to have an edge. And there are some in Sydney I've seen that say, we're for the next generation, and they go, we're sick of finance being boring, and they go for it.
Sure.
So as long as you have a plan, that's how you do it.
Cool. Perfect.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Take
Take care.
care.